Whoo-wee. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Today was a great day. Got to see my buddy Jet D. Shout out to Jet D, who came through and saved the day, knocking the chimney off the top of the roof there for me so they could go ahead and chop it on down. We're going through and working on the red brick house. My goal is by Memorial Weekend that I will be spending a night there, at least several nights. And this is big because one of the problems I have is a lot of my work is down there. The problem is being able to do what I do here, keeping up with the Dallas Cowboys, staying in a motel, I got to carry my bags in there, got to carry my computer in there, set up and all that. I don't have my wife and stuff with me because she's at her parents' house and this, that, and the other. And, it's just not what I want to be able to do. And I can't do keeping up with the Cowboys like I want to. It's especially hard during the season because there's so much going on with the games and stuff, and we got the draft coming up and stuff, and I want to be here or be able to do the work of keeping up with the Cowboys. So one of the things I'm going to do there at the Red Brick House, one, people who have had spent time in the house, lived in the house, and things like that, will be able to come through and see the house. The house is a historic house. So the original parts of the house, when you come in, the two rooms that are there and the upstairs that were all the original school, we are finishing those like they originally were. The antique heart pine floors, we'll keep those and refinish those. We'll end up reparging the walls, the original windows. We're going through and we're saving them. And so on, and we'll put heating and air conditioning in there, but we're going to put it so it's all hidden. So I'm excited about all that. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to have an office there, and I'm going to have a studio there. So that way, when I'm down there working, I've got the internet, I've got a studio where I can do everything that I do right here down there. So that's where I'm excited about that. So that will actually make it easier for me when I need to do work down there, that I can be down there. And that's where you start thinking outside the box. And I'm doing a couple other things here to change the studio up. Hopefully something in about a week or so, you guys will get to see brand new here in the studio thing. So the work never ends. So I've been on the road getting back home. And so I had some thoughts about Diggs and CeeDee Lamb. Those are two big contracts that we need to deal with either this year or next year. And I was talking about whether or not, either of these two guys can hold out. But I was pointing out that in reality, with the changes in the collective bargaining agreement, you can't hold out. You hold out for a week of training camp and miss a preseason game, you're getting one of the game checks, and it's non-refundable. It's non-negotiable. That just is. And that's why you hear guys talking about a whole lot of, I'm not coming, but their ass shows up. Their ass shows up for training camp. So I was doing that as a premiere. What's good about the premiere is while people are watching it, you're there live and you can comment and I can talk and say, hey, thanks, appreciate you coming in. That's some crazy stuff you're talking about there and so on. And so a person said, if the Cowboys don't get to the conference final, they make the playoffs, or they get to the conference final and don't make the Super Bowl, do you blow it up? Wait a minute. Let me see if I get this straight. Let me see if I have this straight. We're saying that if the Cowboys were to make the playoffs 3 years in a row, something they ain't done since the 90s, okay? They make the playoffs 3 years in a row, and they fail to get to the Super Bowl, then you blow it all up. Is that what I'm hearing from you guys? because it's just that easy to rebuild the team, right? And it hit me in the head because here's what's kind of funny is how they treat the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. They're sitting there talking about, Dak Prescott failed. And you know what? He had a bad game. He had a bad game against the 49ers. We lost Tony Pollard. The offensive line isn't as good as, it could be. It's in the high 20s in comparison to like the Eagles and, Kansas City is the top 5. If you're saying that the Cowboys, if they make the playoffs next year, they should blow it and don't do the Super Bowl, then they should blow it up, then how come people aren't saying that about Buffalo? See, I keep hearing this thing about quarterbacks that, you got to be on the rookie quarterback, they got to be on the rookie contract to win, right? And I've been hearing people say, get rid of Dak Prescott, right? Because they didn't go to the Super Bowl. When I look at what they said about the Cowboys going into the season, nobody said that they were, other than Cowboy fans, said that they were a Super Bowl favorite, that they had a team that was loaded that should be in the Super Bowl, right? Because they did say that about the Buffalo Bills. Here's the thing. Sean McDermott has had Josh Allen, and people say Josh Allen is just so much better than Dak Prescott. So here's what they did. That Buffalo went out and they said, we need better wide receivers. So they got Stephon Diggs. They got one of the most dynamic wide receivers in football to help their quarterback, right? They even went out and got defensive players like Von Miller and stuff, right? Now here's the thing. 4 years ago, they were 10-6, one and done in the playoffs. The next year, they're 13-3. They lost in the conference championship. The next year, they were 11-6. They won one game and lost in the next one. This year, they were expected to win 13 games and to be in the Super Bowl. And that Josh Allen was a Super Bowl, should be an MVP. That he's just head and shoulders above the rest. The expectations were they are a Super Bowl team, right? They looked at the Cowboys and said the Cowboys, they're about a 500 team. So how is it that nobody's talking about, after 4 years of playoffs and not making the Super Bowl, having a team that's gone out to get talent to surround the quarterback and the team, and they fail 4 years in a row, nobody talks about it. And there were games where Josh Allen threw interceptions in the end zone in overtime to lose games. Josh Allen, I know we talk about Dak's interceptions, but Josh Allen, if you put in the fumbles, had more turnovers than anybody else in football. And I'm not trying to say that Josh Allen isn't a good quarterback, because he's a great quarterback. He's a great quarterback. But how is it Josh Allen is trash? Is the best quarterback in the world, and Dak Prescott is trash? You see what I'm saying here? Why it's a difference of Buffalo. Buffalo having never won a Super Bowl, having gone to 4 Super Bowls, but losing 4. And it seems like they're repeating every year the same issues. I'm not saying that Buffalo, if you're a Buffalo Bill fan, from where they've been, you should be happy about them being in the playoffs every year. That's a great thing. But here it is. We finally make back-to-back playoff seasons, and we got people talking about we need to blow the team up. The talking heads. Get rid of Mike McCarthy and go chase, Sean Payton. Fire Dak and draft a quarterback. But they're not saying any of that stuff. Nobody's saying get rid of Sean McDermott because he can't win the big ones. Nobody's saying that Josh Allen's choking in the playoffs. Right? Am I crazy? I don't know how anybody, and I know what people say, well, stop comparing Dak to other quarterbacks and stuff, because it's just about the Cowboys. It's only, dudes, come on. Let's be fair here all the way around. Let's be fair all the way around here. It's hard to win a Super Bowl, especially when other teams have more talent. Can we at least agree with that? And how about we go ahead and say the Joneses? You can't blame this all on one person. You still have to go back to where it all starts, and that's the Joneses. Now, it remains to be seen if they are finally letting Mike McCarthy do Mike McCarthy things by picking his staff. And now, let's see if Mike McCarthy can put an input on trying to get the players he wants and through free agency. Because if it don't, hell, we might not make the playoffs. It's hard. It's hard to make playoffs back to back. Anyway, good people, I appreciate you guys listening to me rambling. I'm a little bit tired, I am full of getting the work and stuff done in there. It was great. Got my two main beams put up underneath the house there. Got the upstairs room all cleaned out and stuff. So I only got about this much more brick in that level to take it out, but we can take that out when I go down there next week, and I can frame up the new walls up in that section and finish putting in the rafters in there. And depending on my money, because sometimes your money gets funny, I may be getting some of the 2x12s for the floor joists and start putting those in place and stuff. So it's exciting to get back to doing some work and stuff again. My knees are tired from going up and down the steps and carrying all that shit. My body aches, but that's what happens when you're old. But I ain't gonna let it stop me. So remember, good people, remember to tell the people you love them. Because you might not get the chance again, guys. And I love y'all. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.